Hello, my name is Mirko Ulbrich and we will look for Christus into the problem that a trend following strategy may buy at points where it is not wise to buy. And we will look into it here right now. For example, when you look at this point here, it came down, then it went up again, and the strategy bought in this point, which was not good to buy. It was not good to buy because the commodity is in a sideway channel. And what I inserted here is a DMI. The DMI is simply a normal indicator from TradeStation. And here on the DMI you can see three graphs. First you see, or I click in, that we see together. So you see the DMI plus, which is showing how far the long trend has gone. The DMI minus shows you the trend in the negative side, the short trend, and the ADX shows a neutral trend without any minus or plus. For example, when you look into this position here where this trend was entered, we can see that the DMI plus has a rating from 26. And what we normally say is that we are in a trend when the DMI has a reading from more than 20. And you can see it here, for example, in this point where the short trade has started, the DMI minus was 35 and the DMI plus was 10. So you might say, thanks for the information, how do I use it? It's clear, because you have to avoid to go into short trades when the DMI minus is bigger than 20. I can show you here. I go down to 20 and you can see that, for example, here you would be allowed to go in the short trade, and you see that it is in a relatively high area. And the same is true, and maybe 20 is not the right number, maybe 30 is the number. The truth is somewhere between 20 and 30. So, and the same is true for the long trends. For example, here on the long trend, you can see that when we went into the long trend, the DMI was a plus 30.23. So now the trend was already exhausted a lot. But we went into the trend. So I summarize. We have a trend following system which works basically well, show us good results, but in a sideways channel it gets problems. How to solve it? Very easy. We use the DMI minus and the DMI plus, and you would see it here, and we simply use it in the way that we say if the DMI is bigger than X, don't start the trade. And I prepared something for you, which I have to show now. It's here. And the strategy for this is quite easy. Because you say if DMI plus, and normally you take a history of 14. If DMI plus, history of 14, is bigger than long F, and long F is here 20, but maybe it's better to use 25, then begin. And here comes your buy algorithm, and you simply copy and paste the buy algorithm herein. This will prevent to buy at the end of the trend. The same is true for the short trades, because here you say if the DMI minus is smaller than short F, and again we take 25 here, or maybe 28, you have to optimize it, then you say, and you only allow if it is smaller than the short F to begin. That means you're not at the end of the trend. And of course the sell and buy to cover is not in this loop, because the strategy should always be able to sell and buy to cover. This is how it works. And if you copy and paste the buy and the sell in here, you have to re-optimize the different parameters. These two parameters and the other parameters. Okay, this is one solution. Another solution is to measure the maximum stop against the last high or lows and the maximum loss. And this means you only go in, for example, for a long trade, you only go in if you are close to the last lows and far away from the last highs. And this will automatically in a sideways channel generate a specific profit. For example, you only enter a long trade in a specific range of the last low. This is what I said before. And a third way to do it, or measure the average daily range, true range, and only trade if a specific threshold is hit. For example, if the average true range is bigger, and this means you only go in a trade when you are not in a sideways channel. And of course, when we talk about momentum channels, measure momentum on a higher time frame and only go in if the momentum is existing on the higher time frame. And you can do this relatively easy by inserting a second data stream, and for example a second data stream on a daily chart, or you can do it on the same data stream, but then you have to see into the TradeStation forum how to do it. On a second data stream it's very easy. You measure the momentum on and I have an English keyboard here, on data 2. And so if momentum data 2 is bigger than, and then comes an input variable, I say here var, then begin, and then comes your buy rules here, and then end. This is something which you would do in momentum, and it's possible that momentum needs an input here. For example, momentum over the last 10 bars. So yes, so this should work, and these are the things which you can do to avoid losses in a sideways channel.